Hating on your parents is never the solution. I'll just read this little essay out that I wrote like a couple of days ago because I think a lot of teenagers need to hear this message. Take you back to when you were a toddler. Toddler me and toddler you, all of us, we did something wrong. Anything. We could have done anything. We could have broken our mom's favorite vase. We could have dropped our father's phone into the sink. Endless opportunities for a literal child. And the result of that was scolding. We got scolded so many times by hopeless parents as they watched the plant pot fall in slow motion from the shelf as we stand there with the broomstick in hand. In a toddler's mind, there aren't enough brain cells to do deep thinking and have emotional maturity, obviously, but they do have enough to understand that they did something wrong, and that is why parents are angry. Trial, error, and absorption. This is how children learn. And this is how we as children learned that whenever someone does something wrong, the obvious reaction is getting angry and scolding. And now that we have grown up and learned to consume all sorts of media which tell you about childhood trauma and things like that, we pull the Uno reverse on our parents. We morph into the classical angry teenager. Once we realize that our parents did something wrong, we don't give them time so that we can understand whether their mistake was intentional or unintentional. I mean, obviously, the action of scolding itself is obviously always intentional, but the decision made to react to the wrongdoings of the child in that way is purely unintentional and impulsive in most cases. If anything, it was actually required because what if they ignored you? Worse repercussions actually, you grow up to have attachment and abandonment issues. Anyways, once we concluded that our parents did something wrong in scolding us, we fall back to the obvious baseline of you did something wrong, I'ma get angry now. The lesson we learned through our parent actions unintentionally gets turned against them, and then we crash out on our parents. This will be hard for you to accept, but I know what goes on in the mind of a depressed 14-year-old looking for validation from the world. I am 20 right now, and when I was like 17 or 18, I realized this that I was this angry teenager when I was 13, crashing out on my parents. And when I was 17 or 18, I realized that they didn't even deserve any of it. So much struggle, and it brings a tear to my eye when I hear them tell me about how we set our lives up after so much hardship and so much struggle. Maybe in your angry ass mind you could be thinking, but I have it worse. Sure, fine. So what? Everyone has their own set of challenges which don't translate the same way to the world, if that made sense. How many times have you asked to hear about their story instead of reciting all the bad things that have happened in your bad day today? Internet culture has made it normalized to make fun of the struggles our parents endured. But plug off for a moment, please, and try to feel their pain. You are their offspring. You share their DNA, so the next most likely person to feel their pain accurately is you. Listen to their stories for once, and you will realize that your matters are much more trivial than not having a home or not having supporting parents or society or whatever it is. Struggle is struggle, there's no big or small in it, especially when it comes to the people who literally created you. It is normalized to hate your parents. It is normalized to make fun of them, normalized to not take them seriously, normalized to portray your dad's passion projects as midlife crisis, normalized to scream at your mom whenever she sets boundaries for you. As a side note, we as an internet culture are forgetting the meaning of depth and what it is like to be a human. Anyways, I will be the first one to tell you, I deserved it. I deserved all of the scoldings and beatings I got from my parents. And half the time, these days, me and my mom laugh about those memories, but in the moment, it feels like your parents are your enemies. Give it time. Let that emotion cook. Dude, the massive mess up that I have done, from sneaking my phone to not study, instead playing games on it, to getting caught doing unholy shit, bro. Like, if I wouldn't have been scolded and explained why I was wrong, I wouldn't have had any of the things, any of the success that I am proud of about myself today. I truly believe it, and I came to that conclusion myself. This is also applicable if you didn't deserve it. What if you didn't deserve any of the beatings, any of the scoldings? You didn't do anything wrong, you just had abusive parents. Try learning about their past. These things are usually passed down from generations of trauma. Be the dam, be the barrier, do some research and try to know about your parents' past. It would have been easy for me to feel vindicated and blaming my failures on my parents and the so called trauma that they gave me, but once you try and understand their background, the pity you would feel would further outweigh the hate that you feel towards them. And then you may understand that your parents didn't deserve any of the shit you gave them. When your parents were raising you, they were doing it for the first time as well, you know.